Ticket prices plummeted 30% while Caitlin Clark was out with her injury.
Before Caitlin Clark's season-ending injury, WNBA tickets were averaging $89. The moment she went down, price crashed nearly 30%, plummeting to $62 a seat.
Ticket sales from $89 per ticket prior to Caitlin Clark's season-ending injury, down 30% to $62 a seat.
Could this be the last time we see WNBA basketball white?
The momentum is dying out a little bit with Caitlin Clark being, and knowing that she's not coming back.
This is arguably worse in the league history for the WNBA referees.
2 minutes ago, WNBA ticket prices have crashed shockingly low the moment Caitlin Clark walked away. Without her, the league is facing its biggest crisis yet.
The momentum is dying out a little bit with Caitlin Clark being out. And knowing that she's not coming back, the momentum is dying. People already done washed their hands.
Ticket prices plummeted 30% while Caitlin Clark was out with her injury. The moment she went down, the average cost of a WNBA seat dropped sharply, showing just how much the league depends on her presence.
In this year's WNBA playoffs without Caitlin Clark, networks have their eyes peeled to what is going on, and ticket prices plummeted 30% while Caitlin Clark was out with her injury.
Before Caitlin Clark's season-ending injury, WNBA tickets were averaging $89. The moment she went down, prices crashed nearly 30%, plummeting to just $62 a seat.
There's a lot of reasons for this, but obviously the biggest reason is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark literally being out, and again, she's only on one team, but a very big chunk of the total attendance in WNBA is from the Indiana Fever. Before Caitlin Clark's season-ending injury, WNBA tickets were averaging $89. The moment she went down, price crashed nearly 30%, plummeting to $62 a seat.
Ticket sales from $89 per ticket prior to Caitlin Clark's injury dropped 30% to $62. That steep decline highlights how fast fans lost interest once she was no longer on the court.
Now the big number, what these people need to look at, how far did they come down in face value? Somebody spent $250 on that seat, and now they're willing to come up off it for $62. Yikes. 1/4 of the price is all they're willing to get back. They don't want to spend gas, money, merchandise sales, ticket, concession sales, park. They don't want to buy. And that goes into why they held off so long in announcing Caitlin Clark's season-ending injury, because they knew people would stop showing. They knew the excitement and the interest would wind down.
Could this be the last time we see Caitlin Clark in the WNBA? With her exit, the concern grows as ticket value and fan demand continue to fall dramatically.
Now, we know the WNBA is set to get ready for the playoffs this upcoming week. Could this be the last time we see WNBA basketball for quite a while after this pretty much championship series is over?
The momentum is dying out with Caitlin Clark being out and knowing that she's not coming back. Many fans have already walked away, leaving ticket prices shockingly low.
The momentum is dying. People already done washed their hands. Now, the Fly Hippie family and myself, we're still enjoying it, of course. Rooting on the team, seeing how far they can go in the playoffs. We're still rooting for them. But it would be naive of me to ignore the fact that a lot of the fan base has disappeared. Main thing you should be doing is trying to keep the stars on the floor.
This has become one of the worst seasons in league history, with superstar injuries like Caitlin Clark's driving down interest and crushing ticket sales.
That has transpired this basketball season. One being the injuries to superstar players such as Caitlin Clark and many others. Another being the WNBA officiating. Now, this is arguably the worst season in the league history for the WNBA referees. Now, she did speak about a lot of things, man, and just like I stated, I've been one of the people that has been pressuring Kathy to speak up and say something.
Caitlin Clark's playoff debut averaged 1.8 million viewers, more than all the other WNBA playoff games combined. Without her, matchups like Seattle versus Las Vegas and Atlanta versus New York barely pulled a few 100,000, exposing the league's huge ratings gap.
Here it says Caitlin Clark's playoff debut averaged 1.8 million viewers. 1.8 million viewers. Also take into account playoffs is during NFL season. NFL is king. Let's keep it real here. Not NBA, not Major League. No, NFL is king. Caitlin Clark was doing this during the NFL season.
The league has suffered more from Caitlin Clark being injured than Clark herself. Attendance and overall interest have dropped sharply, showing just how dependent the WNBA is on her star power.
The league as a whole has suffered more for Caitlin Clark being injured, ironically, than Caitlin Clark has suffered from Caitlin Clark being injured. Because I think the league has shown that it's not doing the greatest job outside of certain teams. It is the severe lack of attendance and people going and people caring about the Wings, the Sky, the Dream. Like, Dream fans are Aces fans that live in Atlanta. Like, that's basically it. They're Aces fans that live in Atlanta.
Ratings without Caitlin Clark have been sad and pathetic. Games dropped to as low as 90,000 viewers, while Clark on NBA TV previously pulled over 500,000 by herself.
Fever Mercury from last Tuesday, 310,000. Fever Mystics from last Sunday, 270,000. The Fever Mystics on NBA TV got outdrew by women's college volleyball on the Big Ten Network. Oh boy. Wing Sparks, the game right after, 130,000. And the finale between the Sky and the Aces did 90,000 views.
Breanna Stewart admitted that the WNBA could face a lockout. With Caitlin Clark's uncertain future, fans are already losing interest, and media coverage is starting to fade away.
Breanna Stewart just admitted they created Unrivaled for leverage against the WNBA. They created Unrivaled for leverage against the WNBA. What the hell? So you mean to tell me y'all wanted to create this league to hurt all the other damn players? Like, what if players don't want to do Unrivaled? Like, if I'm Caitlin Clark, I'm mad as hell. I don't want to do this with y'all. Y'all just messed up the 2026 season. Y'all literally using Unrivaled for leverage to get more money.
The momentum is dying with Caitlin Clark out. Many fans have already washed their hands of the league, and without her, the overall buzz and media coverage have disappeared.
But it would be naive of me to ignore the fact that a lot of the fan base has disappeared. The main thing you should be doing is trying to keep the stars on the floor. The best way to do that is to protect them with the foul calls. And that's not just Caitlin Clark or the Indiana Fever, that's for all teams.
Kathy Engelbert acknowledged that officiating frustrations and injuries are holding the league back. Without Caitlin Clark leading the spotlight, media attention has slowed and ratings continue to collapse.
And, players get bigger and stronger and faster, and officiating needs to change. So as our game evolves, we'll continue to work hard on officiating. We do have a thorough process. I didn't know this until I came into a league because I was one of those complaining about officiating in all sports before I became a commissioner. But thorough process to becoming an official, extensive training and education, but also the accountability on a nightly basis, every single game.
The WNBA is highly concerned for viewership ratings, with networks nervous and shaking. League leadership knows without Caitlin Clark, they may not even crack 1 million viewers, exposing weak management and dependence on one player.
WNBA is highly concerned for the viewership ratings for these networks. We got a new CBA. Players, it's time to show what you're worth. If you are worth it, the ratings should resemble that. It's because of y'all too, right? It's a bunch of big stars here, right? Let's see what these WNBA playoff ratings look like without Caitlin Clark playing.
The WNBA won't fix their whistle. Many believe Caitlin Clark's injuries were made worse because of poor officiating, as the league failed to protect its biggest star on the court.
The WNBA won't fix their whistle. I don't know how much of Caitlin Clark's injury has been caused by the whistle. I think you can do it in a roundabout way because the whistle's so bad meant she felt like she needed to bulk up and she did something wrong in her offseason. Then in a roundabout way, you can blame the injuries. You can blame the whistle, but I wouldn't necessarily do that. But people still showed up and paid less. Well, yeah.
Fans questioned why the league delayed announcing Clark's injury. Many believe leadership held back the news to keep ticket sales and merchandise revenue flowing, putting business ahead of transparency.
Ticket sales from $89 per ticket prior to Caitlin Clark's season-ending injury, down 30% to $62 a seat. Now the big number, what these people need to look at, how far did they come down in face value? If somebody spent $250 on that seat, and now they're willing to come up off it for $62, yikes. 1/4 of the price is all they're willing to get back. They don't want to spend gas, money, merchandise sales, ticket, concession sales, park. They don't want to bother.
Breanna Stewart expressed frustration that players and leadership can't even agree on revenue sharing. With critical issues like player health and housing ignored, the WNBA risks a lockout under weak leadership.
Yeah, there's meetings that are happening. I feel like from a player perspective, like it's really frustrating to me that we haven't been able to even come to an agreement as far as revenue share, because then we haven't talked about anything else important. And there's like family planning and player housing and like pension and the idea of like paying back former players for what they've done. So we really haven't been able to get into the nitty gritty on anything.
Fans have seen Caitlin Clark fouled hard with no calls. Aaliyah Boston recorded double-doubles with no free throws. Leadership's failure to hold referees accountable is driving stars away and killing momentum.
And gets no foul called. And let's not get started on Aaliyah Boston. You mean to tell me y'all are calling the game how it's supposed to be called when Aaliyah Boston has the most double-doubles with no free throw? No free throw. Oh my goodness. But it seems the eyes get wide open when she's playing defense, and she gets all those fouls called on her. It got a little better closing out the season, but fam, throughout the season, it was ridiculous.
Kathy Engelbert admitted officiating frustrations are real, yet her answers showed little accountability. As the league evolves, refereeing has failed to adapt, leaving players like Caitlin Clark exposed to injuries.
Yeah, I think, Christina, I smiled when you started that question because I don't think it's just this year. I think every year, everybody complains about officiating, by the way, in every sport. So, but that means people care. They care so much. And we hear the concerns from the ecosystem in our league, whether it's fans, players, coaches.
Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA might not even hit 1 million viewers in these playoffs. The fact that one player can drop the entire league's ticket prices by 30% is scary. Fans who once paid $250 for a seat are now willing to give it up for just $62. Players themselves admit this could actually create a lockout, a first in WNBA history.
Without Caitlin Clark, I don't know if they hit 1 million viewers on any of these opening round games.
The fact that one player can bring down the entire cost of the league's ticket prices by 30% while being one of 13.
Somebody spent $250 on that seat, and now they're willing to come up off it for $62.
You all felt as you were building out Unrivaled, the new 3-on-3 basketball league, and how is that going?
The momentum is dying out with Caitlin Clark being gone and knowing she's not coming back. Clark may be gone, but the conversation isn't, so smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video to keep it alive.